Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Lew-ayres and Lionel-Barrymore in a dietarily balanced episode of the Story of Dr. Kildare from 72 years ago, June 1st, 1950, and Dr. Carough wants his wife to lose weight. And why do we care? Because he's going to try to get Kildare and Gillespie to try to get the weight off. We thank you for joining us today on this first day of a brand new month. It is a Wednesday, first day of July, 152nd day of the year, 213 days remaining. Your question this hour, who was it that invented the jet engine? We'll talk about that in a moment. Two states joined the Union on this date in history. In 1792, Kentucky became the 15th state. In 1796, Tennessee became the 16th state of the Union. Nissan Motor Company founded on this date in 1934. And it was on this date in 1938 the first issue of Action Comics featuring Superman was published.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. The Adventures of Superman.
Now, the comic came to radio as a syndicated show on New York's WOR on February 12th of 1940. On Mutual is broadcast from August 31st of 1942 to September 4th of 1949 as a 15-minute serial, 3 or 5 days a week. From February 7th to June 24th, it ran as a 3-time-a-week half-hour show. Now, the series shifted to ABC Saturday nights on October 29th, 1949, then returned to afternoons twice a week in 1950, continuing on ABC until March of 1951. In all, 2,088 original episodes of The Adventures of Superman aired on American radio, all starring the man who would later be known as the host of To Tell the Truth, Bud Collyer. General Charles de Gaulle became the Premier of France on this date in 1958. In 1980, Cable News Network was founded.
Act upon one's convictions while others wait, to create a positive force in a world where cynics abound, to provide information to people when it wasn't available before, to offer those who want it a choice, for the American people whose thirst for understanding and a better life has made this venture possible, for the cable industry whose pioneering spirit caused this great step forward in communications, and for those employees of Turner Broadcasting whose total commitment to their company has brought us together today, I dedicate the news channel for America, the Cable News Network.
Now, like so many cable entities, it started out as one thing and became another. CNN started out as a news channel. It then became a news and opinion channel. And now it's even basically just opinion. CNN debuted on this date in 1980. George Herbert Walker Bush and Mikhail Gorbachev signed a treaty on this date in 1990 to end chemical weapons production. It was on this date in 2009 General Motors filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the fourth largest U.S. bankruptcy in history to the time. Conan O'Brien debuted as host of The Tonight Show on this date in 2009. He would step down in January after a dispute with the network. Space Shuttle Endeavour made its final landing on this date in 2011 after 25 successful flights. Passing away on this date in history, President James Buchanan, accused murderer Lizzie Borden, author-activist Helen Keller, The Temptations' David Ruffin, drummer Tito Puente, also the man who created Dennis the Menace in the cartoons, Hank Ketchum, and the Brady Bunch's Ann B. Davis. This is the birth date of Mormon church leader, Western settler Brigham Young, orchestra leader, arranger Nelson Riddle, some great music that he generated over the years. Also, Andy Griffith, Marilyn Monroe, and Cleavon Little, a fine trio of actresses. Pat Boone turns 88 years old today. Morgan Freeman, 85. Mrs. Clint Black, Lisa Hartman, 66. Hanging with Mr. Cooper star Mark Curry is 61. Model Heidi Klum is 49. Singer Alanis Morissette is 48. One half of Impact Wrestling's Bear Money, James Storm, still active at 44. I know he does lots of independent work too, so he's busy. Also, she was Debbie on the Wild Thornberrys and part of the Halloween movie franchise. Danielle Harris is 45. From Walking Dead and Colony, Sarah Wayne Callies is 45. Comedian Amy Schumer is 41. He was Spidey in Spider-Man Homecoming and Avengers Infinity War. Tom Holland, 26, and Primrose Everdeen in the Hunger Games, Willow Shields, is 22. Those just a few of the people who celebrate the first day of June as their birthday, and if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
Lew-ayres Lionel-Barrymore, the story of Dr. Kildare, going back 72 years to June 1st, 1950, on this Wednesday. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medi-Share for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medi-Share's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medi-Share is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Lew-ayres Lionel-Barrymore and the story of Dr. Kildare from 72 years ago. This is from June 1st, 1950.
The story of Dr. Kildare.
Whatsoever house I enter, there will I go for the benefit of the sick. Whatsoever things I see or hear concerning the life of men, I will keep silence thereon, counting such things to be held as sacred trusts. I will exercise my art solely for the cure.
The story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayres and Lionel-Barrymore. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer brought you those famous motion pictures. Now this exciting, heartwarming series is heard on radio. And now the story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayres as Dr. Kildare and Lionel-Barrymore as Dr. Gillespie.
Blair General Hospital, one of the great citadels of American medicine. A clump of gray-white buildings planted deep in the heart of New York, the nerve center of medical progress, where great minds and skilled hands wage man's everlasting battle against death and disease. Blair General Hospital, where life begins, where life ends, where life goes on. Come in. Oh, Dr. Gillespie.
Say, did you get a summons up to Dr. Carough's office?
I did, just now.
Yeah, I did, too. What do you suppose the old goat wants this time?
I don't know. Oh, probably someone on the board of directors has a tummy ache or an acute case of hypochondria.
You know, he gets to be more and more of a nuisance every day.
All the Caroughs in the world are nuisances, aren't they?
Yes, and unfortunately the world is full of them. Well, shall we go up together?
I'm ready.
It's a doggone shame, you know, that we haven't got an apple to take along, put on his desk.
Why, Dr. Gillespie, you go wash your mouth out with soap.
Why?
Well, you use the word apple. You know what they say, an apple a day does.
Oh, yeah. Keeps the doctor away. Isn't that a little corny, Kildare?
I suppose it is. But it comes out in the best of us at times. Come on, let's report to headquarters.
Good morning, teacher.
Oh, you two dear fellows are never satisfied unless you have your little joke, are you?
Yeah.
I don't think he liked our greeting, Dr. Gillespie.
Oh, yes, I did. There's nothing I like better than to see high spirits in my associates.
As long as they don't become high with spirits, eh, Dr. Carough?
Oh, talk about corn.
I say, that's really good. As long as they don't become high with spirits. Get it, Kildare?
No, I don't.
He means as long as they don't become intoxicated.
He does?
Of course he does. Don't you, Dr. Gillespie?
Oh, I'm sorry I ever opened my big mouth.
High spirits. I must remember to tell my wife that.
Yeah.
Yes, well, we've had our bit of fun. Now to more serious business. Boys, I have a problem.
Yes, Dr. Carough?
I need help, and I know I can count on you. Can't I?
To the death.
Ditto.
There we are. There's the spirit that has made Blair General Hospital what it is today. Gentlemen, I salute you.
Kildare, attention.
What's your problem, Dr. Carough?
My wife's too fat.
What did you say?
I said my wife's too fat.
Well, you don't need a diagnostician and a surgeon for that.
Oh, yes, I do.
All right. As a diagnostician, I can tell you right now that the reason she's too fat is because she overeats. And as a diagnostician, I can also inform you that it's impossible for a surgeon to operate as a cure for obesity. That correct, Dr. Kildare?
Correct, Dr. Gillespie.
Now, don't be hasty. Gentlemen, I know that the proposed new polio hospital wing is dear to both your hearts.
Yes, but what does that have to do with Mrs. Carough's weight?
Everything, dear fellow, everything. I am planning a special benefit performance to be held in 2 months for the wing. A show, you know, singing, dancing, and famous personalities. All that.
Well, I
Angela used to be quite a famous dancer. She wants to dance again. And I want her to dance again. Lots of people come to see her dance again, who remembered her from the days when she was the toast of New York. Angela must be her old, slim, svelte, enchanting, adorable self. And she must dance her way once more into the hearts of this great, cold city and warm it, as she used to.
A very pretty sentiment, and I appreciate your feeling, Dr. Carough, but what can we do about it?
For the sake of the polio wing, get 20 pounds off Angela.
Well, I've never handled a case just like this.
No, neither have I.
I knew you'd help me out. Now then, Angela will be at the hospital in an hour. I'll send her down to see you.
Dear Dr. Kildare and Dr. Gillespie, you sweet old grumpy you. Oh, I believe I'm going to kiss you.
Oh, no, Angela. It isn't necessary to go to any such lengths as that, you know.
Oh, what a precious old grumpy. Well, Bumpy tells me that you two are going to make me thin.
Bumpy?
Dr. Carough.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, we're going to do our best. Let's see, Mrs. Carough, you weigh, according to our scale now, 150 pounds.
Don't say it so loud. It's embarrassing.
We'll have to put you through a thorough physical examination, of course, before you can start your diet. We'll want you to come in early in the morning for that. You'll have a basal metabolism test, and you'll find your instructions written on this piece of paper.
Well, of course, I don't know what's gotten into Bumpy. He used to say he didn't like girls that were like string beans.
Well, 20 pounds from now, you're still going to be a long way from being a string bean, Angela.
Well, I guess I better go out on a real binge this afternoon.
Binge? What kind of binge?
Maybe a double banana split binge.
That will make just that much more you'll have to take off.
Oh, I'll worry about that tomorrow. See you both in the morning.
Don't forget the paper with your instructions.
Oh, yes, that's right. Well, toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Oh, you sweet, precious, grumpy you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Say, you know, I may throw up.
I don't know. I certainly didn't study medicine and put in all that work to spend my time taking fat off people who just shovel it back onto themselves as fast as they can eat.
That's right. Sure it is. That's right. It isn't very smart when you stop to think about it. by carrying a lot of extra weight around, Angela is weakening her strength and shortening her life and spoiling her looks.
Think we can get her to diet?
Well, we better. We'll start looking for another hospital. Come in.
Well, what two shining, happy faces I see.
Molly, have you any favorite way of taking off weight?
Oh, sure. I bang this against the wall like this.
Does it work?
Well, I think so. Oh, did you two draw Mrs. Carough?
Yeah, we certainly did.
I just heard Dr. Carough giving a statement to the papers that she was to stage a comeback and for the sake of dear Blair General Hospital would redo her famous dance of the willow.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd better get back to work. Good afternoon, Dr. Carough.
Yes. Ah, here are my great doctors. Dr. Brownlee, may I present Dr. Gillespie and Dr. Kildare?
How to do?
Dr. Brownlee is a diet specialist from London. I just told him how you propose to take 20 pounds off Mrs. Carough by your unique and original scientific methods. And he has asked permission to observe you at work, which I have given him. He's terribly grateful.
Oh, quite.
Well, we're glad to have you, Doctor, but we haven't actually started on the case yet. We're beginning our examinations of Mrs. Carough in the morning.
Quite.
Well, I know you'll enjoy having this learned colleague with you. I'll just leave you boys to get acquainted.
Quite.
How long have you been in New York, Dr. Brownlee?
1 week.
You enjoying yourself?
Quite.
Well, where have you been since you arrived?
No place.
Oh, well, would you like to look around the town?
No, thank you.
Yes. I imagine you miss England.
Quite.
So what time is it? My word, 5 o'clock already. It's time for my visits. I'm sorry to tear myself away, but you understand how it is, Dr. Brownlee. Dr. Kildare will entertain you.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but I have an emergency on the 3rd floor, Dr. Gillespie. I know Dr. Brownlee will excuse me.
Yes.
Nice to have met you, Doctor.
I'll wait.
Well, I may be some time.
Time is of no essence.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Dr. Brownlee. Dr. Gillespie will see you later.
Quite.
Now, why did he have to leave him in my office? Why couldn't it have been in yours?
Fortune's a war, old boy.
Yeah, quite.
Well, I'll spend the night in research on diets. You spend it with Dr. Brownlee. I'll see you in the morning with Mrs. Carough when she comes in for her examination.
Oh, splots.
Now, Mrs. Carough, we've conducted a most thorough examination. We find you in excellent physical condition. Correct, Dr. Gillespie?
Correct.
Quite.
Thank you, Dr. Brownlee.
Now there's nothing to stop you from going on a diet immediately.
Yes, I was afraid there wouldn't be.
I have a diet here for you. You will note that for breakfast you may have half a grapefruit, no sugar, 1 piece of dry toast, black coffee.
I don't like grapefruit. I hate dry toast, and I loathe black coffee.
Courage, Angela, courage.
Courage.
Yes, courage. Now for lunch you may have a delicious salad of lettuce, mineral oil dressing, or lemon juice. For dinner, coddled eggs, with a plain green vegetable, no corn, peas, lima beans, or potatoes.
No, none at all.
None.
You'll find a different menu there for each day of the week. Now, you mustn't deviate from it.
Well, I'll try.
Now then, there's also a course of exercise. First, every morning I want you to bend down and touch your toes. 50 times.
50 times?
Yes, very easy, like this.
Try harder, Kildare. You can make it now. Attaboy.
Bravo.
Thank you so much. Well, you get the idea, Angela.
Yes, I know what you mean, all right, but I don't know if I can make it.
Well, try. Open the window and do your exercises with vigor. Remember the Nordic maidens. Be one of those.
Charming girls.
Why, Brownie, who'd ever think that you'd notice anything like that?
Then, put your hands on your hips and swing as far to the left and as far to the right as you can. Do that 20 times.
I'm getting tired just thinking about it.
Now, this is Monday. I want you to come in on Thursday and be weighed. And then I'll give you a diet for the next few days and some more exercises. You should notice very rapid results.
Yeah, and we'll all cheer you from the sideline.
Excelsior and all that sort of thing.
Yes, goodbye. I'll see you on Thursday. Toodaloo.
Goodbye, Angela.
Good luck.
Charles.
Kildare. I sent for you because I have a pain in my back, and I thought you might be able to help me.
Does it seem to be muscular?
Oh, yes, it's muscular, all right. It's those confounded exercises you gave Angela.
What do they have to do with you?
She makes me do them with her. She says it's more chummy that way, and I'm on her diet, too.
Oh? Well, what kind of results are you getting?
Lost 4 pounds.
Really?
Yes, a pound a day. And I don't mind telling you that it's ruining my disposition. I can't seem to radiate like I could a week ago. The arch in my instep is gone. I don't like people.
I'll bet you don't. But I didn't prescribe the diet for you. I don't recommend it for you. You're thin enough as it is.
Angela says I shouldn't ask anyone to do a thing I wouldn't do myself.
Well, at any rate, I shall certainly look forward to weighing Mrs. Carough. Mrs. Carough, let me take another look at that scale.
Well, it couldn't say 153. That would mean I'd gain 3 pounds.
Yes. Well, that's what it says, all right. Did you stay on your diet?
I certainly did. I had a horrid old chunk of lettuce with lemon juice on it for lunch. And last night I had boiled codfish and raw tomatoes. And yesterday noon I had a raw vegetable salad and then some black coffee.
Hey, something doesn't sound right here. Lew-ayres, Lionel-Barrymore, The Story of Dr. Kildare, June 1st, 1950, on this Wednesday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The news from 72 years ago today follows these words from your favorite station.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
And you're in tune with Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. This hour, an episode of The Story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayres and Lionel-Barrymore, as it was originally broadcast on Thursday, June 1st, 1950. In the newspapers of that Thursday, 72 years ago, these were some of the headlines. A brackets-probing New York County grand jury yesterday charged big-time gambler Frank Erickson with bookmaking and conspiracy. It returned a 60-count indictment against the 54-year-old Erickson, who years ago tossed aside a waiter's apron to become, in time, admitted boss of a multi-million-dollar gambling empire. Conviction on the multi-count charge carries a maximum penalty of a $500 fine and a year in jail for each count. The 6 defendants in the famed 1944-45 Stolen Secrets Amerasia case will be called before a Senate Foreign Relations Subcommittee investigating communists in the government. Subcommittee counsel Edward P. Morgan said the first witness will be Emmanuel S. Larson, former specialist in the China Division of the State Department's Office of Far Eastern Affairs. Morgan said Larson may appear Monday. He did not know whether the hearing would be open or closed. Larson, one of 6 persons arrested on charges of stealing secret government documents for the magazine Amerasia. He threw himself on the mercy of the court and was fined $500. Philip Jaffe, co-editor of the magazine, pled guilty and was fined $2,500. Philadelphia chemist Harry Gold, accused of transmitting stolen atomic data to a Russian spy ring, said yesterday he probably would plead guilty when brought to trial. He made the disclosure at a private conference with federal Judge James P. McGranery in Philadelphia, whose aid he asked in procuring defense counsel. The short, swarthy, mild-appearing scientist told the judge he never meant to harm the United States and that he wanted a defense attorney who would not prevent him from cooperating with the FBI. Ultimately, he said, I think I will plead guilty. Judge McGranery said he would have Gold speak with the attorney whom he would designate today. Gold charged with being the go-between through whom Dr. Klaus Fuchs, convicted British spy, delivered atomic information to Russia. Fuchs is in a British prison. Congressman Hugh Scott, the Pennsylvania Republican, former national GOP chairman, thinks General Dwight D. Eisenhower might be content to run for president in 1952. Scott said he and others in Congress recently talked with Eisenhower and urged the wartime Allied Supreme Commander in Europe to run for president on the GOP ticket. Eisenhower declined to seek the 1948 nomination, and since then he says he does not seek the nomination. A woman who identified herself as Ursula Parrott, the novelist, arrested and held in $500 bail on charges of refusing to pay a $225.20 hotel bill. She was arrested in Del Mar, Delaware. Mrs. Daisy Shreves, the owner of the Washington House in Prince Anne, Maryland, said Mrs. Parrott offered her a check in payment, but she asked for cash. Mrs. Parrott walked out and then arrested in Del Mar and taken to Bridgeville, Delaware. Cornell University research assistant John S. Robinson trying to teach a worm to turn, and he expects to know by next fall just how brainy a worm is. In 1914, a Harvard professor built a T-shaped maze. At one turn was a dark box of dirt. At another turn, the worm got a slight electric shock. The worm learned to make the correct turn and get in the dirt. Robinson playing a dirty trick on his worm, though. He's rigging up an obstacle on the way to the dirt. Then if the worm learns how to get to the dirt, he's going to switch the obstacle to the other side and see if the worm could discriminate. That, Robinson said, would be thinking. And things are getting so tough in Los Angeles, a lot of rats are leaving town. Dr. George M. Ulls, city health officer, says the town's rats are getting thinner and producing smaller litters. He credits it all to his rodent control program. Ulls getting rid of the pests by teaching householders to keep all garbage covered, to set traps, and call his department at the first sign of rats. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Thursday, June 1st, 1950. On your radio, Story of Dr. Kildare, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Could you possibly gain 3 pounds when
Your diet's no good. It's no good at all. You don't know a thing about diets.
Oh, now, that's not true.
Well, if you do, why haven't I lost weight?
I don't know. But let me tell you something, Mrs. Carough. I'm going to find out.
I'll have a double chocolate malt, please.
Coming right up, ma'am.
Why, Mrs. Carough, having a cup of black coffee?
Kildare, what are you doing here?
Oh, just happened to be going in the same direction as you.
Have you been following me?
I've been following you for 3 days. When you've gone into a restaurant, I've been outside looking in to see what you ordered. And if I couldn't do it myself, I had someone else
How
follow
dare you spy on me?
I had to find out. Now I have the record right here. Yesterday,
I had half a head of lettuce with lemon juice for lunch. And
that's right, you did, at Brown's. But at 3:55, you had a double chocolate ice cream soda.
Well, I I dieted at lunch, didn't I?
And this morning at 10 o'clock, you stopped for a hot chocolate. And now
Here's
you're
your
having...
double malted, lady.
If you don't mind, the lady will have black coffee. I'll have the chalk malt. Mrs. Carough, you've been cheating.
But I've dieted at meal times. I've never done that before.
You can't just diet at mealtimes. You've got to diet all day long. Now, look here. I'm not trying to be mean and spy on you. I have a job to do, and I've got to do it. My job is to get 20 pounds off of you, but I can't do it without your help and cooperation.
23 pounds.
That's right.
Oh.
23 pounds.
Here's your black coffee, lady.
Thanks.
Oh, there now. You're going to get your coffee all full of tears. You mustn't feel bad just because...
Excuse me, Dr. Kildare. I don't care for any coffee.
Some people would take candy from a baby.
Yes, and some people would give it to one.
So that's the story.
That's it. In 1 week, Dr. Carough has lost 6 pounds. His wife has gained 4.
Shocking.
Exactly the way I feel, Dr. Brownlee.
Furthermore, Carough has caught a bad cold, and he's blaming that on us, too. You see, he says we've undermined his physical condition.
Well, he shouldn't be dieting. He knows that.
Well, I suppose we might as well throw in the towel.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Might I make a suggestion?
Of course.
Perhaps Mrs. Carough needs an incentive.
Huh?
Kind of an incentive.
Well, I've always found a mink coat to be quite tempting.
Say, you may have something there. Suppose Dr. Carough were to promise Mrs. Carough a mink coat in exchange for that extra poundage.
Ah, that old skinflint. He'd no more...
Well, he might be tricked into it.
Kildare, would you be guilty of stooping to a low trick to get this weight off Mrs. Carough and getting a mink coat out of Bumpy?
I would.
So would I. I'm with you, mate.
Well, then, gather round, mates, gather round. Let's hatch a plot.
We return to the story of Dr. Kildare in just a moment.
June 1st, 1950, the story of Dr. Kildare, the conclusion next on this Wednesday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
On Thursday's Classic Radio Theater, an episode of The Mysterious Traveler. From 70 years ago, June 2nd, 1952, The Haunted Trailer, a comedy about a hobo ghost and a railroad bull ghost feud. That's coming up on Thursday's Classic Radio Theater. But right now, the conclusion of the story of Dr. Kildare, Lew-ayres and Lionel-Barrymore, 72 years ago, June 1st, 1950.
Continue with the story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayres as Dr. Kildare and Lionel-Barrymore as Dr. Gillespie.
Well, what does the scale say, Dr. Kildare?
You can see it as well as I can, Angela.
155.
Mm-hmm. Angela, I want to talk to you. Sit down. Sit down. Do you know what I heard your husband say the other day?
No.
I heard him say it would be worth a mink coat to him to have you take off that weight.
A mink coat? Bumpy said a mink coat.
That's exactly what he said.
What?
Good morning, Angela, my dear.
Morning.
Dr. Gillespie, Dr. Kildare says he heard Bumpy say it's worth a mink coat to him to have me lose that weight.
That's exactly what he said. Wasn't it, Dr. Brownlee?
Quite.
Well, I'm certainly willing to starve for a mink coat.
Well, and what do the scales say? Out with it. What did the scales
Oh,
say?
Bumpy, darling, I'm going to starve myself to ribbons. Any girl would go on a diet for a mink coat.
A mink coat?
Yes, Dr. Kildare told me that you said it's worth a mink coat to have me take that weight off.
Kildare, I'm shocked. Shocked, astounded, and hurt. No, don't interrupt. Hurt is what I meant. To think that one of my colleagues...
Oh, you mean you didn't say it, Bumpy?
Ah, of course he said it. I heard him myself. And so did Brownie. Didn't you, Brownie?
Quite, Gilsey.
And Dr. Carough is going to be so proud of you when he sees you dance, Angela.
Very well. I know how to play the sport when I'm cornered.
Yeah.
Angela will have her coat if she takes off the weight.
Oh, Bumpy, you're the most wonderful man in the world.
But from now on, someone else will have to eat with her and exercise with her. Kildare, I want you to exercise with Angela. And Dr. Gillespie, I want you to eat with her. And Dr. Brownlee, you may do either. Both.
Well, we'll do it, won't we, mates? We've put our shoulder to the wheel, and we'll heave-ho.
Kind of heroic, isn't it?
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to bed.
The lady and I will each have one piece of dry toast, one half of grapefruit, and black coffee.
And I.
Sorry, Brownie, I'm sorry. I forgot you for the moment. Waiter, we who are about to diet salute you.
I'm tired.
Oh, cheer up.
Oh.
We've only 20 more blocks to go.
Where's Brownie?
Oh, he's sitting back on the curb there. He'll catch up before we're at the hospital. Come on, Angela. Squad's right.
3 coddled eggs and 3 raw tomatoes.
Yes, sir. Will that be all, sir?
Angela?
That's all.
Brownie?
That's all.
We have some fresh and very special banana cream pie.
Would you mind doing me the extreme favor of dropping dead, old chap?
Run for that ball, Angela. You can make it. That's it.
My tennis is improving at any rate.
So's your form, old girl. So's your form.
A stalk of celery, a broiled lamb chop, and plain boiled spinach.
All right. Bend down, touch your toes. 1, 2, 1.
Dr. Kildare, look at the scale. Look at it. 118. I weigh 118 pounds. Well, how do you like it?
Angela, without a doubt, that is the most beautiful mink coat I've ever seen.
It's really ripping, old girl.
It really is.
Cost a fortune. Angela, what are you doing? Don't sit down in that coat. You're sitting on thousands of dollars.
Oh, you know, Bumpy, I'm going to need a whole new wardrobe.
You're going to what?
Yes. None of my clothes fit anymore. I've got this dress pinned together with safety pins.
Well, just pin the rest of them together with a safety pin.
Oh, but Bumpy made me take the weight off, and after all, he wants me to look attractive.
All right, Angela, all right. But just a very few simple things. Remember, I'm only the poor, struggling head of a hospital.
Oh, I'll remember, Bumpy. And thank you, Dr. Kildare. I'll always be grateful for what you've done for me.
Oh, I didn't do anything except perhaps function as your conscience and as your coach. You did it yourself. Now, if you're careful, you'll be able to keep the weight off. And I know you're going to feel a lot better.
I'll keep it off. Well, I have to run. I have a rehearsal with the orchestra for my dance, and I want you to know I'm wearing the same costume I wore the night Bumpy asked me to marry him.
Angela, that dress is much too low.
Oh, you didn't say that then, Bumpy.
Well, I wasn't married to you then.
All right, darling, I'll fix it. See you all later. Bye, Dr. Gillespie, you sweet old grumpy you.
Yeah. Toodaloo, Angela.
Bye, Brownie.
Hip, hip.
It really looks kind of wonderful, doesn't she?
She does indeed. I'm well pleased indeed. Dr. Brownlee, you'll have a fine report to take back to England on our medical methods in this country, won't you?
Quite.
Kildare, Gillespie, you both look a little run down to me. You'd better take a tonic. Well, I must away to my office to... Good day, gentlemen.
Good day. Bumpy.
Say, if you two intend to specialize in diets, I'd like to take off a pound or two.
Not on your life.
We're finished, Molly. Once around the course is about all any of us could take.
No, quite. You know, on the whole, the process was inclined to be rather exhausting. I suggest we all three take a tonic and retire to our beds.
Quite.
Well, if things get hard up in the hospital, you could always open a charm school. Kildare and Gillespie's glamour school.
Thanks, Molly. I'm going to stick to medicine.
Ditto.
Exclamation mark, don't you know?
On the whole, it's been a satisfactory operation.
Yes, we made a new woman of Angela. We helped the hospital wing, and we made Dr. Carough spend some money.
Yes, on the whole, it has been very satisfactory. Quite.
And now, once again, the story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayres as Dr. Kildare and Lionel-Barrymore as Dr. Gillespie.
Waiter, I want a thick cream of chicken soup to start with. Then I want lobster a la Newburgh, mashed potatoes and gravy, with a side order of French fries, some corn on the cob with lots of butter, and hot rolls. And for dessert, I want ice cream with fudge sauce on apple pie. There.
Dr. Gillespie, do you think that, well, after all, the way you've been eating is...
That's what I want, and that's what I intend to eat, and hang the consequences.
And I'll have the same.
And me.
You know, Brownie, we're going to miss you. I'm sorry you're going home. We're certainly grateful to you for helping us with Angela Carough.
It was nothing, old boy. I was glad to help out.
You know, Brownlee, it's been very refreshing to have someone around who doesn't talk all the time.
I've had a very pleasant time indeed, and I shall enjoy telling everyone about my two friends, Dr. Gillespie and Dr. Kildare. And may I consider myself at liberty to repeat the story of Mrs. Carough's diet?
Oh, of course, as long as you give yourself credit for the mink coat.
Quite.
You have just heard the story of Dr. Kildare, starring Lew-ayres and Lionel-Barrymore. This program was written by Gene Holloway and directed by William P. Russo. Original music was composed and conducted by Walter Schumann. Supporting cast included Eleanor Audley, Ted Osborne, Ann Stone, Jay Novello, and Herb Ellis. Dick Joy speaking.
Now, of course, Ayres and Barrymore starred in a number of motion pictures between the 1930s and the 1940s as Dr. Kildare and Dr. Gillespie. And it was really a very unusual situation because the business with Lew-ayres wanting to go into World War II as a medic and not as an active soldier, that caused a lot of grief. The government just stood their stance in saying, no, we don't guarantee people who enlist going in the way they want to be going in. So this ended up being a real mess for him and ended up a couple of movies being about Dr. Gillespie. Now, in fact, 6 movies went around Gillespie and not around Kildare. The episodes that you hear were produced on the classic radio programs were produced by MGM, who owned the rights to the story of Dr. Kildare. And the interesting part about this is that they were syndicating it themselves, putting it together primarily for their New York City radio station, WMGM. They ended up selling runs of the show to Mutual, who ran it for a period of time. So there you go. That's what we know about the radio show. And the great thing about the show, after 1951, no new episodes were produced of the story of Dr. Kildare. Rebroadcasts aired for a number of years. Story of Dr. Kildare, June 1st, 1950. Please thank this station and support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time you roll around here on your favorite station. Hope you'll also take a moment to visit my webpage, classicradio.stream, where you can stream our shows, learn more about classic radio collecting. Contact me there if you want to drop us a tip in the tip jar. You can do that there also, too, at classicradio.stream. Classicradio.stream. You can also stream the shows through Spreaker or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Amazon, searching for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for listening. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.